Hello, thank you so much for joining me tonight. We'll go ahead and get started by coming down into a constructive rest. Bringing your feet about hip distance apart or wider. The knees can stay pointing towards the ceiling or start to come together. You're always welcome to add a prop, maybe under the back of the legs or under the feet. And then allow your eyes to close or simply soften your gaze as we start to settle in here. We'll begin to lengthen our breath, letting it become a little longer, a little deeper, and more intentional. As we turn inward, noticing that breath, we'll then begin to allow our awareness to start to come out, noticing the air that surrounds your skin and your body pressing against the floor. As we settle in, we'll then notice inward. We'll bring that awareness, noticing how our body is feeling tonight. Are we feeling full of energy? Or maybe that energy is lacking just a little bit. We'll simply notice what there is to notice. And then we'll allow ourselves to start to get into our breathing exercise, which is the deep belly breath. With our deep belly or deep listening breath, we take a slow, long inhale and then hold it at the top for as long as feels comfortable for you. And then slowly exhaling out. Repeating this cycle till the duration of our opening meditation. Why do we humans seek approval and so desperately have the need to be right? Something spiritually has taught me is that someone who has a different view than me isn't wrong. Rather, they are just looking at life through their own lenses. So I try to challenge myself and contemplate the intention behind my words and actions. Do I do and say things because I want someone to think I'm right? Or am I simply living out the truth of my heart? Let us act in a way that is not to gain approval or to prove our rightness. As we take a few more of those deep listening breaths, really allowing the silence of the pause at the top to be a moment where you listen. Notice the intentions behind words and actions that you use today. Maybe make it your intention moving through the rest of the night or into tomorrow or throughout the week to express your heart's truth. During this last deep listening breath, see if you can hold that pause at the top even longer, creating just a little bit more space to listen. And then after your exhale, allow yourself to come back to your normal or regular flow of air breath. Notice whether that feels like it's high in the torso or if it's still a deep belly breath. And as you notice that, try not to change it in any way, just simply letting it be, allowing your breath be your breath. We'll take just a moment here to set an intention for our class today. Maybe something you might like to connect with, or a gentle intention of gratitude, maybe. And we'll offer ourselves that gratitude that we took time out of our day to slow it down and find a restorative practice of gentle movements of the body. Then as you wish or as you want, open the eyes and begin to roll on the back of the head, letting the neck roll left to right. Gentle massage maybe on the back of the head. And then we'll find our way up into a seated position. You can roll to the side or roll over in any way that feels good for you so that you start to come into a seated position. Now you can bring that into a crisscross applesauce, or maybe bring a prop under your hips. And then let's inhale. Bring our arms up to the side and then overhead, feeling some length and extension. And then with our exhale, interlace those fingers and flip the palms up towards the ceiling. Really feeling that length, rib cage all the way through the arms, up the arm bones, pushing out the palms and hands. Beautiful. Exhale, drop those hands to support the head, letting the elbows come out side to side. And then with our next exhale, twist towards your right from your hips. Inhale to come back through center. And then twist towards the left. Great job. Go ahead and come back through center. This time we're going to twist it back towards the right and hold it for 3, 2, 1. Exhale through center, twist it to the left, holding for another 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. Exhale, bring it back center, and then push those palms back up towards the ceiling, lengthening through your torso. With our exhale, flip the palms as you press the air away from you, circling them down towards the floor. All right, we're gonna bring our hands maybe somewhere on our legs or hips or even the floor and start to take some cat-cows. Bringing our heart forward and lifting the chin, and then exhaling to round the spine back. Take this on your own for a few cycles of breath. All right, let's go ahead and come back through center. We'll bring our hands to a prayer at heart center. And then as we inhale, circle arms up and overhead, reach them up. Feel that length and extension. Exhale, bring them down through center. Inhale, circle arms out to the side and up. Pause there. Exhale, bring them down through center. Inhale, circle arms up and overhead. Pause there. Taking that deep listening breath while we pause. Exhale here. Last time around. Inhale, circle arms up and overhead. Pausing there for that deep listening breath. Exhale, drop hands through a prayer to heart center. Great job. We're going to lift those arms up one more time. And then with an exhale, we're going to twist from the hips over towards the right. You bring that left hand to the left leg or to the right leg as you twist over towards that right shoulder. Beautiful job. Come back through center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, seated twist to the left. Each inhale, we lengthen our spine by pressing into the left hand behind us. And each exhale allows us to soften into the twist. Let's come back through center, arms switch up, and then let's exhale. Bring our hands down through center. And then if we took a crisscross applesauce, go ahead and switch sides. So the opposite leg is either on front or on top. Inhale, circle arms up and overhead. With our next exhale, we're going to flip the palms, press the air down, and take our circle backwards, bringing it back into hands at prayer at heart center. Inhale, take those arms up overhead. Maybe point the pointer fingers or keep the hands separate. Exhale, flip the palms, circle it down and around. Start to find that deep listening breath. Inhaling up, pausing, holding for as long as feels good. Exhaling to flip the palms, pushing the air away as you circle the hands down. Start to find that fluid motion. The only hesitation is at the pause at the top of the breath. Deep listening. All right, last time we inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, drop the arms to a T, and then flip one palm and leave the other one face down. We're going to take our rib shuffle. And as we lean to one side with the palm up, and as we lean to the other side, we flip that palm. Take it left to right. We're noticing what's happening in those shoulder joints, maybe the arm muscles. Maybe it's the rib cage shuffling like a deck of cards that we're noticing. All right, last time on both sides. Beautiful job. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to release them to a prayer. Take this moment, close your eyes. Come back to that intention that you set for the beginning of class. Great job. All right, for this next pose, we're going to take a butterfly pose, bringing the soles of our feet together and the knees out wide. You can have those heels really close to your hips or maybe a little further away here as you allow yourself to sink in to your butterfly pose. You can inhale, lengthen the spine, and with an exhale, hands either come to the floor in front of you or a prop as you start to hinge at the hip. Inhale, come up to a straight spine. We're going to take our left hand over to the right leg, bring it to the ankle or to the knee or anywhere in between. And then we're going to inhale to lift our right hand up and over, taking it into a side bend. Great job. Come back through center. Switch sides, right hand holds somewhere on the left leg or knee, shin or ankle or knee. As we inhale, we cross that left arm overhead, reaching the right side of the room. Great job. Come back through center, release the hands, and then let's take the legs really wide here, as wide as feels good. You can always bring something under the knees for a little support, or press through the ankles to lengthen through the back of the legs. We're in our wide seated pose. As we inhale, we're going to lift our arms up overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to turn towards that right foot and reach down our leg as far as feels good. Now with our next inhale, we're going to take our left hand, lifting it off the floor, reaching it up overhead towards the ceiling or even into a rainbow arc. Our exhale, bring that left hand back down towards the floor or your leg. And then let's walk through center. Inhale, come back to your straight spine. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we hinge towards the left and fold over that leg, reaching towards the left ankle, a little or a lot. Inhale, starting to reach your right hand away from you, opening up through the torso, and then maybe taking it in a rainbow arc overhead. Inhale to come back through center to release. Great job. From here, let's take those arms out wide to a T, and then we'll take our right arm under our left arm, coming into an eagle arm variation of our choice. Keep those hands on your shoulders, or start to walk the hands towards each other, or maybe even just have that strap in between your hands. We're working our shoulders, working our back. We spread those shoulder blades away from each other with each inhale. Great job. Exhale to release. Inhale, arms to a T overhead. Exhale, bring it back down. This time the left arm comes under the right. We come to our eagle hug or eagle arm variation of choice. We sit up tall through the spine. Great job. Exhale to release. Inhale, arms circle up. Exhale, go ahead and release the hands down through a prayer. Take some shoulder rolls. And then reverse your shoulder rolls. Been doing a little bit of work there on our shoulders. Just give yourself that moment. And then I'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Instead of going deep into your cactus, bring them up to that 90-degree bend in the elbows. And then as we exhale, we're going to allow our palms to circle down towards the floor so that our arms and hands and everything is about shoulder height, but still in that cactus position. Hold it there. And then as you exhale, squeeze shoulder blades together and elbows back. Inhale to release. Exhale, squeeze it back. Bring it forward. Last time, squeeze it back. Bring it forward. Inhale, arms up. And as an exhale, let's bring our hands down to the mat. We'll go ahead and come on up to standing. Coming into our mountain pose. Wonderful job. Let's go ahead here and take the legs a little wider than hip distance to a wide-legged position with the toes out and the heels in. We'll inhale to lift the arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, begin to hinge into your forward fold. Always welcome to have a prop here if you'd like. Then start to find a ragdoll swing. You can grab opposite elbows or keep your hands on your prop. Sway a little bit left to right. Allow your torso to dangle towards the floor, maybe moving the head or the jaw, or making any movements here so that you can relax into this forward fold a little more. Maybe keeping a nice generous bend in the knees. Our next inhale finds stillness. Exhale sinks us even deeper. Inhale presses into our hands, lifting the core to halfway. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Beautiful job. With our next exhale, go ahead and bring your hands down to your hips. And let's step into our standing mountain pose. Wonderful job here. From our mountain pose, we're going to work on just a little bit of a balance. You're always welcome to come up a little closer to a wall or a prop for more support, or stay in the middle of your space for more of a challenge. We're going to take standing bicycle kick. So as we inhale, we shift the weight over to the left side. We begin to bend that right knee, lifting the toes off the floor a little or a lot. You can always have them touch down whenever you need them to or would like them to. And again, welcome to have a hand on a prop. All right, from our bicycle kick, we're going to start to pedal the leg like we're riding a bicycle. Noticing how that feels. So really slow as you do it. Great job. The next time the foot comes forward, pause there and allow the heel to come down while drawing the toes up towards the leg. Great job. Go ahead and bring it back through center. And then let's switch sides, bringing our weight over to the right side. We lift those left toes a little or left, and then we start to bicycle on the side. Great job. Next time you're forward, the heel comes down, taking that calf stretch, drawing those toes up towards your shins. Great job. Exhale to release back to your mountains. Come through center, and then let's take some wrist circles, letting the wrists come up to shoulder height, encircling the hands and fists in one direction a few times, and then in the other. All righty, great job. Feel free to shake or wiggle the hands, and then we'll make our way back into our mountain pose. We'll inhale, circle arms up in tall mountain. We're going to pause there for just a moment, maybe lifting one heel, maybe lifting both heels, coming onto tiptoes. Great job. Exhale to release the heels to the floor, and then with a great big old exhale, hinge into your forward fold. Finding your hands on your prop, on your legs, or even on the ground as you hinge into this deep forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Figure 7, engaging through our core. Exhale to hinge into your forward fold. With an inhale, we'll take a slow roll, coming all the way up to standing. Once we arrive, we'll circle those arms up and overhead, reach them up high, and then let's lean it to the right. You can bring your right hand to your hip or to a prop as you hinge over to the right side. Beautiful job. Inhale back through center. Bring those hands together, interlace the fingers. Exhale, drop the hands behind the head. Twist to the right. Inhale back through center. Press the palms to the ceiling. Drop the left hand as we hinge in our side bend to the left. Inhale brings it back through center. Interlacing fingers, drop them behind the head, elbows wide. Twist to the left. Inhaling back through center, pressing those palms back to the ceiling, tall mountain. And then with an exhale, releasing the hands down by the hips. All right, we're going to take our feet just a little bit wider than hip distance into a wider stance, but not the full wide stance. And then with an exhale, we're going to sink into a squat. Keep the torso tall, engage the spine, engage the core, and then lift one heel on one side, set it down, lift the heel on the other side and set it down. Maybe explore lifting both heels a little or a lot. Put them down. Inhale, release, 5-pointed star. Exhale, sink it back in again. Shallow squat. Hold here for just a moment. This time maybe bobbing a little in the hips, getting yourself settled in as you stand up tall. Great job. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, last squat. Sink it in. You're doing great. We're just going to hold it this time. Engaging the core, really working on straightening the spine. Inhale, 5-point star. All right, with our next exhale, let's release the hands and we'll make our way into a downward dog. As always, you're welcome to take that on the wall or on the floor by bringing your hands to about shoulder distance apart. Heels can be down or lifted. Walk those hips back. Press into your hands wherever they're located. Start to pedal through the legs, lifting one heel and bending the knee, letting your head really dangle in between your arms here and feel like you have a straight spine from the hips all the way to the top of those hands. And then start to find and settle into stillness. We'll inhale to lift both heels as high as we can. And then with an exhale, sink it in. Inhale to lift those heels. Exhale, sink them. Last time, inhale to lift the heels a little or a lot. Exhale to lengthen through the back of the legs. And then with our inhale, come back on up standing. Beautiful job in our mountain pose. All right, just a little bit more balance challenges before we move on. We're going to take a tree variation. So again, maybe having a prop nearby for support, we come into our mountain pose. We shift our weight over to that left side and begin to lift the right toes off the floor a little or a lot. We're going to hold it here and take a couple of ankle circles and then reverse them. Point and flex the toes a few times. And then let's take that knee out, then bring it back in. Noticing how that hip joint is feeling as you take it out to the side, bring it back in, out to the side, bring it back in. And then maybe take a couple of circles with that knee. They can be big circles or little circles, and then reverse them, getting some exploration of that hip joint. And then with our next inhale, take it out to the side and then find a tree pose. You can bring that right foot anywhere along the left foot from the floor, ankle, all the way up to the inner groin. You can even add a prop under your foot to offer a little more stability. Now maybe you keep your hands in a prayer pose or on your prop for support. Or maybe you start to grow some branches. Find a spot that's on the floor, not moving. It will really help you with this balance challenge. Beautiful job. If you grew branches, go ahead and release them to your hips or to your prop. And then release the right leg into your mountain pose. Take any movement you might need. All right, shifting sides. If you need to change where your orientation to the prop is, go ahead and do that. And then as we inhale, shift to the right. Lift those left toes. We'll start with our ankle circles. And then we'll reverse them. We'll point and flex the toes a few times. Great job. Go ahead and inhale to open the knee to the side. Exhale to bring it back through center. Noticing how this feels on this hip joint. And then start drawing circles with the knee. And then reverse them. Inhale back through center. Exhale to open it up. And then find your tree pose. Starting to come back into that deep listening breath here. Inhaling fully. Pausing at the top and holding it for as long as feels good. And then exhaling fully. Beautiful. All right, with our next exhale, let's release everything down to the floor. Take any movement your body needs. And then we'll be coming to our mountain pose. And let's step the left foot back as we come into a lunge position. Now we have the option of keeping our lunge high and keeping our knee off the ground, or bringing our knee down to the ground and maybe putting a blanket or another prop and take this lunge a little bit lower. As we inhale, we can keep our hands on our front leg, bring them to our heart, or maybe we lift them up overhead. As we sink our hips forward, we want to feel like we're squeezing our thigh muscles together. Our core is engaged. You're doing a beautiful job here. We're going to hold this for one more moment. With our next exhale, we're going to straighten that front leg and then twist the torso out to a T. Inhale to bring it back through center. And then if you're standing lunge, bring your back foot in. If you're kneeling lunge, bring your front foot back. And then we'll step back to our opposite variation. Letting the hips sink forward. Inhaling, hands come to front knee. Maybe a prayer. Maybe lifting overhead. No matter which variation, whether your knee is on the ground or knee is lifted, we're squeezing our thighs. This is an active pose. Our core is engaged. We have this. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your next exhale, twist it. Or straighten that front leg and twist it to the left. Beautiful. Let's come back through center. We'll inhale to come down onto all fours in our tabletop. From our tabletop, we'll lengthen to stand on our knees. And let's bring our hands to our lower jean pockets or our hips. As we point down towards our hips, we keep our hands on our back. Then start to squeeze the elbows towards each other, pushing the hips forward and starting to lift the gaze. Great job. Inhale to come back to a straight spine. We're going to come into our camel variation. Up to you. You want to use blocks to keep back by the heels of your feet, or you can keep your hands on your hips, or another option would be to keep the hands alongside you. So whichever variation, we inhale for a straight spine. And with our exhale, we push our hips forward, start to lift our gaze. We're keeping our hands extended overhead. They stay there. We're keeping them in our jean pockets. We squeeze the elbows towards each other. And if we want, we can drop our hands down to those props, going a little bit deeper into this camel back bend. Full inhale, full exhale. Beautiful job. With our next inhale, come back up through center. And then we're going to take it into a cross back body twist. So you're lifting your hands, you're going to turn at your torso and lean that right hand back. If your hands are on your hips, you're going to keep them there, but lean that right elbow towards the left heel. And if you're dropping your hand, you bring it to the prop, and you can begin to lift the opposite hand over. Wherever you're at here, crossing through the back of the body as we twist into our camel. Inhale through center. Exhale, let's take it left to right. Cross camel twist. Inhale back through center. Exhale, bring the hands down by the heart. And then if you're using any props, we'll move them out of our way for just a moment as we're going to start to take that right leg long into a gate pose. We'll bring the sole of the foot down to the floor. We'll lengthen through our left side, inhaling to circle both arms up and overhead. With our next exhale, bring the right hand down the right leg. Take your gate pose as you lean over to the right. Inhale to come back through center, arms wide to a T, and then either dropping the hand to a prop or the floor, take a counter stretch. Inhale, come back through center, arms reach up, and with our exhale, we'll make sure our left toes are tucked. We'll circle the hands down to a tabletop, and then take the hands forward and sink it into a child's-like pose or a downward dog-like pose as you sink your hip back towards your heel and stretch through the back of that extended right leg. And if your hands need a little more room or your body needs a little more room, you can even have a prop under the hands here. Great job. Inhale to come back standing on your knees. And let's set up for the other side. So as we inhale, take that left foot out to the side, tuck your right toes, lengthen through that right hand side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, slide it down as you take a gaped side bend. Inhale through center. Exhale, we're going to take the counter stretch. So the right hand comes to the floor or to a prop, and left hand goes overhead. Inhale through center. Exhale, tabletop upper body, and then sink the hip towards the heel, letting the torso hang in between the hands, in between the arms. Beautiful job. Inhale to come back up, standing on your knees. And then from here, let's come down onto a seated position. As well, always, you're welcome to have a rock or something under your hips, but we'll come into a seated staff. Let's take a moment to wiggle the toes, circle the legs, and then let's bring a bend into that left knee, letting the inner foot come to the inner thigh, and that knee go out to the side. We'll inhale our length in our spine, and with an exhale, fold over that extended leg. Each exhale allows you to soften a little more into the pose. As we take these restorative poses at the end of class, we come back to our deep listening breath, breathing in slowly, holding for as long as feels possible in our lungs at this moment, and then exhaling fully. Our exhale allows us to soften a little deeper into the pose. Beautiful job. Let's roll up to a straight spine. Switch sides. Seated staff. Then bend right knee, letting it go out to the side. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, hinge and forward fold. Each exhale of your deep listening breath softens you even more. Inhale to come up to a straight spine. We'll come back into our butterfly pose, knees wide, soles of the feet together. And then begin to drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder, taking the right arm and allowing it to come rest on the side, left side of the head, not pulling the head here, but simply allowing the weight to help assist in the stretch. Now your left hand can stay right where it is, or maybe you take it out to the side. You can walk it forward, walk it back, walk it out. Really just allow it to support the stretch through the left side of your neck. Exhale to release, switch sides, letting the ear come down to the left side, holding the head on the right side with the left hand, and finding your adjustment with that right arm so that this stretch feels super yummy on this side. Settle into your deep listening breath. Our next exhale releases through center. Bring the knees together. And then go ahead and roll down on back. As we curl in knees to chest. And then send both legs and arms up towards the ceiling. As we inhale, hug right knee with the left hand. And then switch it. Hug the left knee with the right hand. Take this dead bug movement on your own. Maybe as you reach, as you grab opposite knee, you take opposite hand and arm out away from you. Adding just a little bit more movement to this dead bug pose. Great job. Last time. Exhale, bring the hands down, hug the knees in, and start to take some knee circles. Letting the knees come and move in unison. And then reverse the circle. And then take them separately. Noticing how the hips, the glutes, and really all the points we were working on feeling. Go ahead and reverse those circles. And then bring the soles of the feet toward the floor. With our inhale, we'll bring a figure 4 with the right ankle on the left knee. You can keep the sole of the foot on the floor or start to lift the sole of the foot and thread the needle. As you draw your heart a little closer to your right shin, keeping that right foot flexed. Your left knee can have a bend in it or even straight up towards the ceiling. Really keep the back of the neck lengthened by tucking your chin. Great job. With our exhale, we release the left leg, we lifted it, and then uncross the right leg. Take it to the left ankle to right knee, either staying here or lifting the foot, coming into the thread the needle if you'd like. Keep the chin tucked so you're lengthened through the back of the neck, no matter where you are. You're doing a beautiful job. Our next exhale brings the sole of the right foot back to the floor and then releases that left. Alrighty, from here, We'll allow our butterfly to happen one more time, this time from the reclined position. The knees open, the hips can be far away or close in, but our knees are opening. Maybe we bring a cactus back into the upper body. Maybe we allow our eyes to close as we settle into that deep, listening breath. Beautiful job. Our next inhale circles hands down by the legs, and we'll use our hands to bring our knees in through center, and then allow both knees to fall over to the right. We're going to take a twist here. You can bring a pillow between the knees, or you could stagger the knees or keep them stacked. It's up to you. Maybe opening the arms back into a cactus. You can make any modifications, any binds that feel good for you. Exhale to come through center. And then allow the knees to fall to the left. Making any adjustments on this side. Getting back into that deep, listening breath. Notice how it's changed by the constriction of the torso twist, contortion as we breathe. Finding chaos, calm in the chaos. Great metaphor. As we exhale, we release through center. You can take a few windshield wipers if you'd like, or any movement that you would like. As we come into our final resting pose. Now you could stay in your constructive rest, or you could come into a corpse pose. You could bring props behind the knees, like just in the beginning, or under the feet. You'd like to bring a blanket, or anything else onto your torso, your feet, your eyes. Make any final movements or adjustments so that you can start to relax on command. And as you settle in there, I invite you to close your eyes once more, or maybe to simply soften your gaze as you allow yourself to come into this final restorative pose, this pose that feels like rest. We don't change our breath in any way, but we simply allow it flow. In through the nose if it's available, out through the mouth. We notice the sensations of the body, maybe the energy that feels any different from the start of class. And then as we're ready, we'll start to let go of that awareness as we turn inward. With each exhale, I want you to see if you can soften, relax a different portion of your body. Maybe starting at the feet, working your way up, or starting at the head, working your way down. Each inhale, an invitation to relax. And each exhale, taking the suggestion, softening a little more. Beautiful job today. We'll begin our guided meditation by beginning to imagine that we're sitting under a big, vibrant, in all its summer glory tree. It is beautiful, large, healthy tree. The bark is absolutely gorgeous. And the trunk is so massive that maybe you couldn't even wrap your arms all the way around it. Or maybe it's so tall, it reaches up high into the heavens. You can't even see the top. But the roots of this tree, they run so deep and so wide that no matter the amount of wind or rain, it would never be able to sway it. Begin to envision yourself firmly grounded, rooted even, resting next to your tree. Maybe even sense yourself sitting upright, growing taller and taller with each exhale. Maybe in your mind's eye, the sun is shining high and bright, the perfect temperature in the sky. And as the sun kisses your face, imagine the beautiful, warm, bright sunlight extending down your extremities like the branches and leaves on the tree. The sun is like our souls, our inner being that knows exactly who we are at our core and who loves us wholly. As you feel this love from your soul beaming down on your face, allow the love in. Feel it as it absorbs into your skin and even flows deep into your torso, filling you up. Now let's turn our attention to that beautiful sky. Imagine the color, the beautiful blue sky all around you. Here you are resting under this amazing, magnificent tree, standing ever so tall in this beautiful, lush forest, completely alone with your thoughts. In this amazingly peaceful and tranquil place, the sky is like your mind. As you work to quiet your mind, imagine your thoughts like clouds. They may be scattered throughout your sky. You may see them here or there. Big, beautiful, puffy clouds of big, beautiful thoughts that filter in and out of our mind. And as we rest here, do your best to try to envision clear blue sky. The thoughts are there. The goal is to imagine floating around them. You have something heavy weighing on your mind. Maybe these clouds of thought are a little darker in color. It's okay to see these clouds as well. Try your best to work your way around them. Maybe even imagine yourself floating around or even above them, until you can reconnect with that summer sunshine. Visualize the clouds maybe literally parting for you as the sun shines through once more. The sun nourishes you and the strong, beautiful tree. See if you can appreciate this moment. Appreciate how grounded you feel, how centered you feel. Knowing that the sun and the rain have helped make you in this tree who you are today. You become stronger each and every day because the sun is always shining and storm clouds fuel your desire for more. You need rain to survive, just like the tree. You stand tall and strong without judgment of any of the trees beside you, not seeking approval, but you are unique and beautiful in your own way. Your branches and roots are like no other. You are strong. You are healthy. You are grounded. And you are oh so vibrant and beautiful. And as we rest here under our beautiful tree, we take the biggest, most delicious breath of our day so far. We start to leave the tree in our mind, knowing that we can come back to it anytime we need a moment to stand tall and beautiful. And then as you're ready, bring your awareness back into your space. First noticing the support from beneath you, and then noticing the air around you. We'll start to bring some gentle movement into our body and flutter the eyes open. And then in our own time, in our own way, we'll come up to an upright position facing me. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you in class soon. Thank you.